Assalamu alaikum, welcome to a new episode of Kudos Talks. Today it's a very special episode as we have a very special guest who's Mark Cox from Manchester United. Hi Mark, how are you?
Yeah, always great to be here with you at Kudos. We've had a great meal and now do what we like to keep talking about football and more importantly talking about myself.
Yeah, so to get started, tell the audience about how you started coaching, how you got into football.
I'd always played football, as you know, in the UK where I'm from. Everybody plays football. It's a bit like the cricket we have here. Everybody wants to play. Everybody is playing at every every opportunity. And so I just graduated from there, playing for boys' clubs. I played non-league football, and also because with my job I was a prison officer and a police officer, it allowed me to play football as well. And the progression to coaching kind of went through from there. So it was a natural progression. You played football all the way through your childhood, through your 20s and 30s, and then as you got a bit older to play, you went into coaching.
So what was the inspiration behind coaching? I mean, was it just like I was a player, I mean, what normally tends to happen is like at 35, 36, for example, you say, okay, my playing career is done, let's start coaching. Was it like that or was it some inspiration?
I started actually my first coaching. We were at school and I was about 17 or 18 and I was in what they call the sixth form, doing my A-levels, and the teachers had a strike, and the strike was that they wouldn't do any after-school activities. So me and my best mate Rob, we took over the school teams and started coaching and managing the younger school teams, giving them training of a night and get them to play on a Saturday morning when we played the games. So that was my first real exposure to coaching.
Okay, and so it went on from there? Like,
yeah, I carried on playing, and I think my earliest team I took over was Wolverhampton Sporting, 23-24, and it was a natural progression really. We were playing and most people had left, and it was a case of, right, who have we got? I've been here the longest, and could you take over the team?
Okay.
So it was a case of coaching, managing. I think a lot of people going back in the day, the managing side of things was just get people organised and shout and scream at them on the pitch and blow a whistle, and that was it. And I think over the years, like my coaching ethos and the way that I did things kind of grew, as it just like anything in life. But as you get older, you get exposed to different things and different philosophies, and that's kind of how my coaching philosophy built.
All right. So now, tell us about your journey to Pakistan. How did you end up here?
How long have you got? First thing I'd like to say is this is the most amazing country I've ever been to. I love Pakistan. But before I came here, I thought the people were going to kill me. I thought the food was going to kill me. I thought the weather was going to kill me. The terrorists were going to kill me. Everything was going to kill me. And it took me about a month to realise what a great place. So I was able to kind of come out of my locked room and have a walk around and just went to the old fort. And I think I was the only white man amongst a million people. It was just amazing. But the route that I came to get here, it's taken 30, 40 years. I was a police officer. I was in the prison service, saw a lot of thing there. I was lucky enough to work for Manchester United. I was lucky enough to work in the Premier League with Wolves, West Brom and Stoke. And I got to a point in my life where obviously my coaching was, I'd done my A licence and the first part of my pro licence. And as I was getting a bit older, I thought, do I want to be a prison officer for the rest of my life? Do I want to stay in the UK? And I was given the opportunity to move abroad. And my first choices were really Spain or Italy or France. And I got the chances to go to Las Palmas, who were in the La Liga. And then it just so happened somebody who was out here who used to, I would say, work with me at Wolves. He used to carry the balls, carry the bibs, carry the cones, watch me coach. Sometimes I'd let him go in goal, and he was really just a gopher. But he'd managed to come over here and get a job as a head coach, which is just amazing, really. And he said, would you like to come over here? And I said, where are you? And he said, Pakistan. And it was a time in my life as well where my relationship, my marriage had broken down, my children were growing up, and I needed something really to kind of push me. I'd kind of gone from the prison service. I was working in training. I was working for a number of consultancy companies.
So you needed to come out of your comfort zone.
I needed to come out of my comfort zone. I'll be quite honest with you. I mean, I'd got up to over 17 stone in weight. I'd got into a lot of bad habits and work-wise, and to be quite honest, I think another year, I wasn't drinking too much, I wasn't going to the excesses, but my lifestyle was very sedentary, sitting down, driving, Zoom calls, and I couldn't walk out 100 yards down the road, and I was literally out on my feet. I think another year of that I would have been dead. I needed something to take me out of the comfort zone, and this was out of my comfort zone. This was well out of my comfort zone, but it is the best move I've ever made. Really, it's the food, the people. You get used to the climate, and it's funny. We've been out, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've been to football matches. And what's happened is I've been out there just drinking my water, watching a match. And the three Pakistani guys, including you, been with me, have gone, oh, it's too hot. And I'm the white English fella who's going, oh, this is great, this is, because at home now, the height of summer, it's absolutely messing it down with rain. It's worse than what we get here.
Yeah.
So that was, the route, from the Man United in the Premier League, coming to the end of my career, end of my marriage, that I needed something to kickstart my life, really. It sounds a bit dramatic, but that's really how it was.
All right. You mentioned Man United. Is that it must be the highlight of your career, as in?
You know me, I don't like to talk about it much.
Tell us about your time at Man United. Obviously, working under someone like Sir Alex Ferguson.
I'll be quite honest with you. Manchester United, my experience is they're the best club in the world. Everything they do is absolutely top quality. I know I'm a Wolves fan, you're a Chelsea fan, we've got a Chelsea fan in the room. He's probably an Arsenal fan because he's yawning. We've got people, they are, the way they do things. I mean, to go in there, I was working grassroots and working for Sheffield United at the time. And a scout that I knew had asked me to go in and say, could you come to Man United? And the day I got there, Alex Ferguson was there, he was doing a tour, there were other scouts and coaches there. We were given kit straight away, we were given equipment. We went around looking for venues, and everything was done very professionally in the development centres and the advanced centres. And it all led, they paid for me to go on my courses. There was international matches we'd go to, there was cup matches we'd go to, cup finals we'd go to. And they'd fly us there as a team of coaches, and pay for everything. And I also got the opportunity, again, it's something I don't like to mention much, to be on the same pitch as our friend here, Cristiano Ronaldo. And what happened was that the coach at the time, Mark Dempsey, came over. I was on the training pitch with 14, 15, 16-year-olds, and probably another 7 or 8 coaches as well, and said, we've got this kid who's come over from Portugal, who's going to be joining the first team. Can you join in with your sessions? Yeah. It was pre-season, so what we were doing was around about July, we were doing lots and lots of matches. Yeah. And he joined in with the matches, so at some point I was on the same training pitch as Cristiano.
So this was back in...
2003 it would have been, so you're looking 21 years ago. I can remember him scoring with a header in the training match against Barcelona. I can remember him infuriating players because he would just want to do all his tricks and step-overs. Yeah. I remember him, he's very pot-marked and spotty and very, very thin. He wouldn't remember me from Adam. I could just about remember him being there, but if you'd have said to me, is he going to be the next best thing, then probably not. There were other players there at the time, Mads Tim and other players like that, who were actually better than him and seen as better prospects. Okay. But later on I was lucky enough to come across people like Roy Keane, your Beckhams, your Scholes, met him at Carrington. I've met Sir Alex Ferguson 2 or 3 occasions. And the one thing I say about Sir Alex Ferguson, if he asks you a question, he genuinely wants to know what the answer is. So, and also he'll know what the answer is. We were dealing with a development centre in Cheshire and I had a lad, they're called Donald Love. Now Donald Love played for the first team at Man United in the end. He went to Sunderland, then he played for Scotland, he's moved down, I think he's with Fleetwood. But Donald was 8, and we were in a cafe at Manchester United, and Sir Alex said, how's Donald doing? I said, Donald? He said, yeah. He said, his dad comes from the same part of Glasgow that I do.
Oh, okay.
And his brother Archie's at Burnley, isn't he? These were 8 and 9-year-old kids. He knew who they were. Yeah. And that's how Consub. He knew everything that was going on about his club. He knew the history of the club, the history of the people. And he cared, because it was his family. That's why we try and I love this thing about it being a family. Whether you work in a restaurant, you work in a factory, you work in a community, if you've got that family feel where everybody's looking after each other, I think it's... Yeah. And that's something that was built onto me. The greatest thing there, working with a guy called Rennie Mullenstein. Rennie became the assistant manager. He started off with the under-6s with us, under-7s, under-8s. I think he went to manage Fulham in the Premier League. I think he's assistant manager of Australia now. But there's some of the great people that we came into contact there who were behind the scenes, Eamon Mulvey, Tom Statham, Paul McGuinness, who was a great coach.
He's also the assistant coach of the first team, wasn't it? Mullenstein was.
It was him and Mike Phelan, And but one thing I'd say, although they were with the first team, they'd still come and do sessions with the 7s, 8s, 9s. They'd talk to you as coaches as if you were important people. There was there was a hierarchy, but there wasn't, because everybody had a place within that ecosystem. And that was the thing about it, they just did everything correctly.
You worked all these years with grassroots and pre-academy. What is your philosophy behind letting children play, or training days, match days? What is it that works for you?
I think to be a coach, you've got to coach what's best for your personality, and also within the framework of the place that you're working. The good thing about Manchester United, got a framework and an idea of what they wanted to do, which was put in place by Rennie, but it then gave you within that framework an autonomy of what you wanted to do as a coach. I find too many coaches are try to be too loud, have the whistles, shout, scream at the kids, and they go, right, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there. And what happens is that children just become robots. I think I've told the story, I think I said it to you a couple of times, I always say it to the coaches, about a basketball coach, and there were 2 basketball coaches with a long line of children, and they were teaching them just to do a slam dunk. And the one coach was there, go on, do this, shout and scream every 5 minutes. No, you've done it wrong, stand still, stop, this is the way we do it. The other coach showed them how to do it and then just let them practice. Yeah, well done. And I say, which team did it best at the end of the session? And the team that did it best was the ones who were screaming and shouting. Yeah. And they go, oh, right. But you come back a week later and a month later, the team that did it consistently better was where the coach was guided discovery, giving them encouragement, letting them just go through there.
Yeah. Since you've come to Pakistan, I think it's almost been a year.
Yeah, I came over in the end of August 2023.
Yeah. So tell us about your experience coaching here, especially at Legends Academy. What do you think of the project?
Yeah, the whole Pakistani football, there's so many people that are involved in football that want football to succeed. I look at Faizan at Football Factory, I look at Madassar at Bulls, Kaka at TWK, and of course at our own academy where you've got Legends Academy in Lahore, set up by Hamza, who came over with a vision. All these guys that I've mentioned have got a vision to make Pakistani football great, to take over from cricket, I don't know, but to produce a team in the future for Pakistan, or to produce players that can play for your Barcelonas, your Real Madrids, your Manchester Uniteds, your Chelseas and your Rochdales.
Yeah. So what do you think of the project that we're currently working on?
Yeah, I'm totally into the project. It's just building up people's awareness of football.
Yeah.
I don't believe that they get enough exposure to team games. I love cricket. I played cricket all through my years because you play cricket in the summer, you play football in the winter. But I could go through a whole game of cricket without touching the ball.
Yeah.
I could field it long on and not touch the ball. I could bat at number 6, either get out first ball or they could knock off the run. So I could go through a whole game without touching the ball.
Yeah.
Now, okay, it's a sport, but that doesn't seem right for me. Now, football, and my other great love, rugby, you're really involved in it. You've got 11 players, you've got all rely on each other. Or in the modern game, 17 players, but 11 players on the pitch. And what you've got is people hitting each other, people tackling each other, people telling each other they're rubbish, people telling each other they're good. You've got winning, you've got losers, you've got drama, you've got theatre, you've got violence, you've got all kinds of things that go into there. But football really is the word microcosm of life. That football is all about winning. It's about losing, it's about being up there, it's being down there, and it's learning how to cope with the demands of football and demands of life. So what we're actually doing at Legends is the football is there, the football kind of philosophy is there and what we're doing. We've got a curriculum which is loosely based on the Man United kind of idea. I work with probably one of the best coaches I've ever worked with, apart from yourself, of course, Abdul, in Zico, Zachary Lasfi. I've never met a guy like him who goes so deeply into the philosophy and the rudiments of everything. I was lucky to work with a lot of coaches, Noel Blake, Brendan Mullenstein, Steve Cooper, who was at Notts Forest, and other ones have been in the Premier League. And I could see it firsthand. Zico's had that opportunity in Morocco, but he's had to really read up and research, and nobody goes into any more detail than him. So he's the kind of yin to my yang sort of thing, whereas I kind of do like things doing off, a bit fly by night. He's the one that does it there. So it's been an absolute pleasure to work for Hamza, to be able to give him the opportunity, but to have the opportunity to work with Zico, and of course the coaches like yourselves who have come on board and are doing it to what we want to do. So the first thing we did, we took the whistles off everybody. We took the clipboards. I remember the one game where you got your book and I took the book off you and threw it behind the goal, and you kind of looked at me like that. And it's a case of using your personality to bring the kids through. But it's not about me. It's not about the coaches. We say to the parents, and this is the mantra, it's not just about football.
Parents is a headache, isn't it?
The parents, what you've got to do is you've got to tell parents the story. Because if you don't tell the parents what the story is, they'll make it up for themselves or they'll hear it from somebody else. So what I tell the parents is, we're here to create a family. We're all part of a family.
Yeah. The
most important thing of your child is, the main thing is education. Get their education. Because if your plan A doesn't work, you've got your plan B, plan C, plan D, plan E. So any parent comes to me, is my son going to be the next Messi? Is he going to be the next Xavi, the next Drogba, the next Ronaldo? I'll say, forget about that. Forget about it. Right? Education. Secondly, I say to them, play as many sports as you can. Don't just play football. Play cricket, play rugby, play paddle, play squash. And of course, Pakistan, as I was growing up, Jahangir Khan was the world leader in squash. He was a world leader in field hockey. We need to be playing more of those sports as well.
Yeah.
Listen to music. I say you've got to listen to music. Everything but American rap. Don't listen to American rap because we don't want that anyway. But lots and lots of different types of genres of music.
Yeah.
I'll tell them to listen to the parents, listen to adults, listen to coaches, listen to the teachers. I don't say believe everything they say, but as children we need to listen to a lot of parents. Then we can realise who's telling us the good stuff and who's telling us the rubbish. Yeah. And then you can build up your personality from that. Yeah. Eating the right foods. So try and keep off the burgers. As you can see from my body, I don't have anything bad like burgers and stuff like that. Burgers and the fried food and that. Keep on the good stuff. Drinking wise, soda. Keep off that. Milk. Yeah. Fruit. Water. Yeah. And building that up through building good habits. And the main thing about it is what Alex Ferguson used to tell us to tell the kids. And it's in a way the same. Read the Bible. Read the Quran. Yeah. So if you've got all of those right, all of those correct, you get the all-round child, you get that, and it doesn't matter whether it's a boy or a girl, because we have girls with us as well. Some of the girls, you know, their attitudes are absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
But the main thing I do tell
Yeah,
to
as you said,
dads,
it's about being good human beings, isn't it?
so we ask some of the dads, say, who's your son's hero? And they'll go, oh, Messi, Ronaldo, Mbappe, Neymar. So wrong. Your son's hero is your dad. The boy's hero is his dad, because your dad is the one person. When I say hero, I don't mean like Superman or he's the one person you want to impress. He's the one person who can get up there and down there in a second. So if you've got a dad who's there at the pitch going, going, how does the kid feel?
Yeah.
If you've got your dad there going like that, boom, straight away like that, you know what I mean? And that's what, as a dad myself and as a granddad, I am old enough to be a granddad. One thing I do about my son is, and my grandson is put my arm around him, well done, proud of you, love you.
Yeah.
And that's what people forget as well, that, you know, so when dads are shouting and screaming on the sidelines, you see me in action, I kind of go and sit down with them and talk to them and just tell them what the story is, what their expectations should be.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been around football, so they straight away think that their kids are going to come and get coaching and then be the next Messi.
It seems to them as if it's a regime, a military regime. You put them into football, do drills, okay, you're the next Ronaldo.
And you know, they've got to understand that, you know, it's 0.0001% of kids that are 8, 9, 10-year-old make it as a player.
Yeah.
So you've got to be very, very lucky. Very, very lucky.
Yeah. Yeah. Bringing it back to other sports, playing other sports with regards to kids, I don't think many parents focus on that thing. I mean, for example, if the kid is interested in football, they would let them play football and none other sports. So, for example, if you're playing, for example, you're playing table tennis or even tennis, it helps with your SAQs, and even all the elite footballers or other sportsmen are always good athletes that are good at other sports as well. So would you say that for kids, don't just play football, play everything you can, like for
you
tennis?
Play as many sports. The greatest gift my dad gave to me, because my dad was an accountant and he was always working, but the greatest sport he gave to me and my two brothers, the greatest thing, was sport. If we wanted to play sport, we played sport. And I had two brothers. One brother was 2 years younger, another was 2 years younger again.
Yeah.
So we bought a field on the side of the house,
put
things around it, flattened it, and that was our football pitch. That was our Wembley.
Yeah.
That was our Jinnah Stadium, Gaddafi Stadium. We played cricket there as well. And of course, having two brothers, you play football, so one would go in goal, one would cross, one would shoot.
Yeah.
If we played cricket, one would bat, one would bowl, and one would be wicketkeeper.
Yeah.
We played badminton. We had a badminton court put up there. We could play tennis.
Yeah.
You know, 2 against 1, 1 against 1. So play as many sports as you can, because what's the alternative for kids?
Yeah.
Call of Duty and Fortnite at 8, Fortnite, 8 and 9-year-olds, for God's sake. Grand Theft Auto.
Even younger.
It's even younger as well. So just get them off their couches and get them out playing. You know, we've got so many people who live in either these big gated communities, and they've got small back gardens or something got back, and all they do is nothing, but they're still inside. So I think the greatest thing you can give kids is sport, the great outdoors. Little boys especially, little boys need to have excitement, they need to climb trees, they need to fight, they need to fall over, they need to break an arm when they're falling out of a tree, they need to have adventure. That is a little boy. And little girls need some stimulation to show that they can be part of a team as well. So I think the young children of Pakistan are no different from the young children in Europe or anywhere in the world. I think there's too many reasons why children aren't playing sport. And I find that children in Pakistan, they grew up reading Enid Blyton, which is what I read when I was a kid. I think you've just written them. They're like Marvel comics. They're like all the things that we did as we grew up. So generationally, it's no different. From country to country, it's no different. So I think we've got to encourage them to do sport. But I think a lot of parents in Pakistan that think that if my child isn't any good at this sport, then don't do it. Don't expose them to it.
Yeah.
But it should be the opposite. Let them play everything.
Yeah.
And the team sports are, I mean, as I say, my first love's football, but I love rugby. I love the camaraderie around rugby union and all the things that go around there, but football's exactly the same. There's no better thing than turning up with your team on a Saturday at 1:30, getting into the dressing room, smelling a newly mowed pitch, putting your kind of liniment on, you're putting your Vic on in the cold weather, having a cup of coffee, or you might have a bit of banter, read the programme, and then going out and playing a game of football. Yeah. There's no better feeling in the world than that. No better feeling.
Yeah. Just one thing before we move on. What is the thought behind, let's say, for example, it's popular in our culture, the whistle. I'm sure it's popular all over the world. What is the thought behind, and if you got it from somewhere, is there any inspiration behind it? Have you seen someone do it, or have you thought about it?
Why do you use a whistle? No, you got to think why people. Why the old? It's come from, and it goes way back. It was control in the army, and in the army they used to use a whistle basically to make people look up and do different things. And then it was taken on board in schools where they'd have the whistle, and suddenly the whistle got more and more taken away. And I think Pakistan has still got that culture within schools of using the whistle. Yeah. And in sports, they've got to think about using the whistle. Even in sports, do they use whistles in cricket?
No.
So why don't they use whistles in cricket? Yeah?
I've never thought about that.
Yeah, do they use whistles in equestrian?
The referee in a football game, which is fully fledged football game, uses a whistle. Yeah. So I think the coaches have got that from the referee.
So we coaches
stop the game, do this, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Whistle again, start playing. If they see something is wrong, if they want to give a break, whistle. I think it's easier for them.
I'll say we're coaches, we're not referees.
Yeah.
And a coach is a different mentality to a referee. A referee is disciplinarian in control to organise a game. A coach is there to help with the guided discovery of the player and to bring the players on. The best coaches in the world should be able to say nothing or say the least.
Yeah.
And to have a whistle there is, I'm hiding behind the whistle. And the kids are waiting for the whistle. Now, my belief is it's the same. They're hiding behind the whistle. They're hiding behind the clipboard. Mm-hmm. Okay? So what a coach should then do is use his personality that set up practices, set up routines for the players so that the players and the routines know what the coach is on about. Yeah. So they know exactly where the coach is. So the coach only has to say, OK, lads, stop. Or walk in the front, just wait a minute, just stay there. Yeah. The best coach I ever worked with, I say Brendan Mullen sends that was Noel Blake. Noel Blake played for Portsmouth, Leeds, Birmingham City, Aston Villa, and he was a 6'1" black West Indian, muscle bound, very, very hard man, very hard man. And he came to coach us at Stoke, became the academy manager. And because he was so big and so broad and so imposing, he just had to stand there and people listened. So when he spoke, he just lowered his voice and spoke like that. Because you knew that if you ever had to go to the next level, you were in trouble. He didn't need a whistle. If you're in control of your set of players, okay, the only time you probably need a whistle is if you're a swimming coach and people are underwater.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Big auditorium or something like that where you just need to, or as a last resort where you just need to get some order. The police use it, other people use it, the army use it. But the coach should be the conduit for the whole session, not the apparatus. Again, it's the same with a lot of coaches, and I'll talk about this coach who brought me over to Pakistan. You looked at his session, there was 93 mannequins, 400 cones, 23 million hurdles, a parachute. To do a session with playing football, all you need, right, is one player. You don't even need one ball and a set of cones and you've got a game. Two players, you've got a game, haven't you? Yeah. If you've got a wall, you only need one player and you've got a game.
Yeah.
You can have a game with one person, but two people, you've got a team game.
Yeah.
And that's what you've got to do. So let the game be the teacher.
So moving on, let's talk about the project that we've been working on since quite a long time now, which is MAZ Football Management. Let's tell the audience about what it is. Yeah,
It's a great thing. I mean, obviously, we're still continuing working with the Legends project.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously developing the children to play football. But what we did notice was that there was a complete lack of coach education for grassroots coaches and probably coaches in general. I mean, I was lucky enough in England to work for the English FA, and I was a coach educator working for a UEFA, doing level 1 and level 2 coaching badges. And when I came over here, that's a lot of what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a complete lack of opportunities for people to do that.
Yeah.
So what we decided, we looked at myself and Zico. Zico's currently doing his level 2 B licence, level 3 B licence,
Yeah.
through the FA of Wales. And I'd actually done my A licence, my level 4, and my pro licence level 5 through them. And he got a few contacts and they said, yeah, we'd like to be involved in the project. So they are producing the platform to do things online. We will do the CPD, we will do the daily things over here. And at the end of it, people in Pakistan and South Asia will be able to access UEFA quality coaching courses.
Yeah.
And this is something they can do. So we've got the level 1 and the level 2 UEFA. We've also got the safeguarding. We've got the first aid. We've also got a goalkeeper's separate award, which is a very good one. And also got a talent ID, which is a scouting level 1.
Yeah.
And I've done up to be level 3, and I think it's a good insight into the workings of the game, what to spot in a player. So it's really, quite exciting from our point of view. The PFF, obviously, have got a coach education thing, but because of the lack of funding and the lack of but it is the funding and the sponsorship behind it. They're not able to put on as many courses. So we're just trying to fill that gap and work alongside it so that when they do, we can still do ours, they can still do theirs. And the idea of it is, at the end of the day, that grassroots coaches and coaches within Pakistan will be then having the knowledge to take their, to get them away from the whistle and get them to get the badges.
Take the next generation forward in the right direction.
Yeah, did you probably look the coaches here, and I think I've mentioned, the Kakas, the Faizans, Waleed at Football Factory. I've mentioned Mudassar at Bulls. And there's a lot of the great other coaches, a lot of little academies or big academies who are doing a great job. Just what's lacking is just a little bit more coach education, a bit more exposure to the wider game. Because I think we've spoken about it. If all you've been exposed to is what happens in Pakistan and what you see on Sky Sports, that there's a lot more to the game about the history of the game, the history of tactics, the history of the technical side, the thought process around psychology, physical work, analysis work. There's a lot of things that we can share by doing the coaching courses, and that's the idea behind it. We're not here to take over. We're not here to say, oh, we're the ones who are doing that. I want to go from Pakistan sometime in the future, and it'll be a little bit of a legacy. I can turn around. It'd be great that if I'm at home back in Wolverhampton, me chair and my sofa, and I see you, and you're the assistant manager of the Pakistan under-18s. Yeah. Zico is manager of Morocco. Kaka is manager of Pakistan. And I can do what I normally do. I'm in a pub. I'll say, I know him, coached him. Yeah. That would be brilliant for me. Yeah. So I'm not here to kind of have a statue built or anything like that, and I'm sure Zico isn't as well. He's a very, very humble man. What we want to do is here to make a difference. That is the whole idea, to be over here, make a difference, and basically to learn ourselves as well. Because I've learned a lot of things from yourself. I've learned from other coaches. I mean, nobody knows Pakistan like the Pakistan people do.
Yeah.
So I've had to learn to coach to a different culture, to a different understanding, to different people, which has helped me grow in my coach education as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great opportunity. For example, if you see me, I've gone to the UAE for level 1 and level 2, and it's a great opportunity. If you're a Pakistani, just do it here. Just do it from here. It will, first of all, most importantly, it will save you time. It will save you the money to fly, and It's,
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's some great courses being offered at the places, but when you factor in the cost of the course, and then you factor in the flight, then you factor in for the hotel, then you factor in for your food and board and everything else, and then you've got to think about having time off from your family and being away from it and all the work you've got to do.
Yeah.
If you can do it in Pakistan,
yeah,
and there's a lot of things that we can do online as well, and you've got access to the likes of myself and Zico and other coaches who have been on board. Because what will happen is the coaches that I've mentioned, they'll go up there, and then the coaches who are coming through will go to the Bulls coach, they'll go to the TWK coach, they'll go to the Legends coach, because then you're building people's levels up for the coaches coming through. Now, you're just building it up all the time.
Yeah.
And I hope really that obviously the PFF see this as a great initiative. I hope that people see it as a good initiative for Pakistan and for South Asia as well, because we'll take people from anywhere that if they want to do a badge and they want to learn, and they want to learn. I mean, I love talking about football all day. Yeah. But the good thing about I'm learning from these people as well, so it's good for my football development as well.
Yeah. So the FA Wales that we're offering the courses from, you've done your A license from the Welsh FA, haven't you?
I did the A licence, and I did the first year of the Pro licence as well.
Okay.
And I done all my future pre-licences with the FA of England, and I was also a coach educator for the FA of England. But the FA of Wales at the time was under a guy called Kevin Thelwell. I think he went to Wolves, and then he went to Red Bulls. He's at Everton now, and he completely revolutionised the way coach education should be done. England have this thing where it's the England DNA. That's why you get boring managers like Gareth Southgate and all the ones coming through that play boring football. The Welsh FA kind of pick up on the fact that they want a bit of spontaneity. They want they want people to be like Gareth Bale. They want the Gary Speeds. They want the Ian Rushes. They want the people who can excite. So their whole coach education is about letting the coaches coach to their personality. So I did my A licence back in 2005, 2006. And the course content was just amazing. Some of the guest speakers that they had, and even when I did the CPD, my re-licence event, they had people like Thierry Henry, Yaya Toure, Tim Cahill, David Ancelotti, talking and meeting with people on the course. And when you've got people like that and people like Roberto
the list
Martinez,
of people that have done it from FAW is
because it's just unbelievable, the actual content and the actual detail. And the damn thing about the enjoyment of the course, it's not like going back to school. It is a real buzz. The actual sessions they put on, the material they give you, the access to information they give you, the support, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to be giving the support and the mentorship, access to materials, knowing that these guys who are working with Yaya Toure, Thierry Henry, and all the great players who are doing the coaching, David Ancelotti. I think his dad Carlo is going to be doing a talk at next year's event. So if you've got access to information from the likes of those people, this is a great opportunity for the people.
Yeah, I mean the experience of doing these courses, they're designed in a way. The experience is great, honestly. If I get a chance to do a level 2 again, I'd be doing it again because of the experience. You get to learn a lot. It's not just from the course; it's also from your peers.
Yeah.
So you get to see their sessions. You get to see their coaching behavior. So it's a learning environment, and it's if you're into learning, it's perfect.
So it's right. What we're trying to do is create an experience. It's just a case. If there's a website, go on the website, do it online. Thank you very much. It's not about that. We're looking helping people with the journey. My journey started in grassroots. It took me through Manchester United. It took me to 5 continents. Zico started in Morocco, went through Arsenal, supported to Pakistan. He's coached on 3 continents. He will coach on more. This guy will go far as well. But what I'm saying is that that's where our journey's taken us. So my journey's still going. Zico's journey's still going. Your journey's still going. We want to be there at the start of people's journeys because you need qualifications. It's great having the experience, and I think the experience is needed. But then if you've got a piece of paper or a course that you've done, because the experience of the course, meeting other people, speaking to your mentors, being able to talk football, just clarify stuff, it opens it up. Otherwise, you go down a course, you're blinkered. You've got to take advice from other people or ideas. Now, you have a conversation with somebody. If you learn one new thing every day, one new thing, just think what you're going to do in 10 days. Just think what you're going to do in a year. So the thing is to learn at least one new thing a day. And since coming to Pakistan, to be quite honest, I'm learning 50 to 100 new things a day. I'm embracing everything about it. And it's the same with football, that if you've just got a blinkered idea of what football is, you don't know what is happening elsewhere unless people tell you. And it just opens up your kind of thought process as well.
Talk a little about level 2, which is obviously it's accessible when you have level 1. Obviously with level 1 you get to learn to safeguard players, and it's more importantly it's about having your sessions, having games, more and more games that are fun, safe and engaging. So in order to do the level 2 you have to have a level 1. Doesn't matter if it's from the Welsh FA or the Scottish FA or the Irish FA or the England FA. That is right,
the coaching courses, if you're looking at it like this, is that the coaching course is like building a house. Level 1 is building your foundations. Level 2 is putting the shell of the house up. Level 3 is probably putting the roof on. Level 4 is doing the decorating. And then level 5 is having the nice garden, the nice ornaments, all the extra bits that all the fancy bits that you put in. So if you think about it that way, so the level 1 is the foundation. And I never decry, because you have to have the foundations, otherwise it's no use putting the roof on. It gives you the way of doing things, the safeguarding, the health and safety, how to set a session up, how to do a session plan, how to do the initial techniques, how to deal with parents, how to deal with people. And then your level 2 goes more into more tactical and more technical issues, advanced how to pass, how to receive, how to shoot, how to cross, how to defend as a unit, going more into 1v1s, 2v2s, and going through that process as well. So then it gets you ready for the level 3, which is more to do with tactical, going more into 11v11. So the level 1 is a great feeder into doing, finding out about, really consolidating the knowledge that you've got already. So all the experience and knowledge, just as a coach, say, I'm doing that right, what I'm doing is right, but then fine-tuning things, well, hang on, I need to change that, just to give you more ideas, and also get you into how to learn, how to access materials. Most coaches will go on Google and Google something. There's a lot more to it than that. There's a lot more places that you can get information from. By going on level 1, you'll have a lot of access to myself, to Zico, to yourself, to the whole FAW, Football Association of Wales library. As you know,
a lot of resource there.
There's lots and lots of resources.
Contacts,
at home in the UK, I've got my own office where it's a wall like that, and it's a bookcase full of books, coaching manuals, autobiographies, and I'm trying to do that, here in Pakistan as well. But online, there's so many resources. But unless you're told where to access those resources, you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So the level 1 is a great way of feeding people in. And of course, anybody then just level 1 is automatically there, ready for the level 2. And the FA Wales will be sending over 2 coaches to do the level 2, because then what will happen is that they will teach myself, Zico, and yourself to do it their way. Then we become coach educators. What will happen in the future? Hopefully, we'll have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of coaches, so that there'll be people who I've mentioned before. There might be a senior coach from Bulls, senior coach from Legends, senior coach from TWK, senior coach from Football Factory, who will then become a coach educator. So they will then be able to do it under that umbrella. And that's how you build it up, that the coaches become the coach educators, which feed another load of coaches in. And then the hope would be, after we've got enough level 2, then we do the level 3 and the level 4. In conjunction with the fact that hopefully by then the PFF will have kind of kick-started their regime and we can run.
Hopefully we can get as many as possible, the level 1s, people coaches doing level 1 so that we can start with level 2s and
Yeah,
then,
I mean,
no looking behind.
already the take has been fantastic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want to get as many coaches as we can on the courses. The thing is that the courses are filling up quite well.
Yeah,
you know, it's a great opportunity to actually to do it.
Absolutely.
And,
you know, if I knew about this, I wouldn't have gone to the UAE. I would have done it from here. So it's
I mean, there is a
opportunity.
cost for it, but as I say, people look at the cost and I can't. You know, there are ways around the cost. You have to pay for it, but obviously we are flexible in the way that we take payments. Obviously, the League of Wales, the FA of Wales, you know, will be charging us for it because they're providing such a great service.
Absolutely.
But if anybody's got any queries at all about anything, then to give us a ring, and there's plenty of places. There's the website, we'll leave a phone number, and obviously as part of this podcast we'll leave people with more details as well.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea, you know, we're here. I've been in Pakistan now 12 months. Zico's been here 15 months. We contracted with Legends for 2 years. I can't see myself leaving Pakistan. I can't see myself leaving Pakistan. You know, I love it here. I'll end up getting married here. I told you I put this on in, didn't I? It's just a fantastic place. So I'm here for the long term. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not a fly-by-night scheme. We're here to build it and build it well.
Yeah, absolutely. And also for Pakistani football to move forward, I think you need good coaches, and only good coaches can bring great players up. For me,
I think it just needs a bit of
you can only have
organised.
great players if you have good coaches.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You need good administration, you need good backup to get the good coaches. Messi wouldn't have survived, you know, without a good academy team at Barcelona who believed in him.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, believe it or not, his greatest fan was his mum. He wouldn't have survived without his mum and her support.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get to a thing where it could be the administration, it could be the secretarial, it could be the coaches. So it's how we develop as part of a team, how the team develops. And to build the coaches and the coach structure is probably the greatest thing that we can do in this country as it is. We've got a good, you know, Steve Constantine, who's doing the first team, he's doing Pakistan, he'll take them to a different level. But then you've got a gap. You know, we need good 18-17s, but any kind of business, any kind of football club, anything, you're only as good as the person at the bottom. So the closer we can get the gap from the bottom to the top, so the grassroots and everything, with people getting educated and all singing off the same hymn sheet, that'll help the guy at the top, that'll help the grassroots as well.
Yeah.
And it bounces up between the two. If you've got those at the top, say for instance in the football club, if you've got the chairman and the board directors there, and the tea lady and the groundsman down there, and everything else in between, the club gets fragmented. What you need it to be closer than that and have the layers a lot closer together. If you see where I'm going.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on, for all the young aspiring footballers watching, what is your advice for them, like a quick advice?
Yeah, I think we've touched on it in an earlier question, is you've got to, firstly to do with everything education, do your education, eat and drink properly, listen to your teachers, listen to your coaches, play as much sport as possible. Get out, get away from your computers, get away from your iPhones, get away from all the electronic stuff and get out and discover life. I've said read the Quran and that.
Travel.
But above all, with all the sports, is practice. Practice, practice, practice,
Repetition.
practice. It is repetition, but you know, people say repetition and practice doesn't always work. They used to say if you did think that for 1,000 hours you'd get better. But if you're doing something wrong for 1,000 hours, then you're not going to get better.
Yeah.
So it's proper preparation prevents poor performance. So it's proper practice makes permanent.
Yeah.
So if you're getting somebody who's coaching you, so somebody's like, this is where Zico comes in, that if he's telling you to do a skill, I'll tell you to do the skill and I'll go through the rudiments and whatever. He will break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down, break it down. And that's where you've got the good things where you know you're doing it properly, and then depending on which foot you kick with, how supple you are, how agile you will then be able to do it to suit you. This is where I come in and fine tune as well. So it's about practice, it's about playing up to games, it's about enjoyment, it's about encouragement. But it's the all-round person that we want. But with these kids, have a dream. If you want to have a dream, but don't just think I'm going to be the next, great footballer or the next great cricketer. Have a number of dreams, but that only comes with education. That only comes by doing the simple things well. Okay, listen to coaches, listen to your parents, and just enjoy being young.
Okay, so to conclude, what do you think is the future of Pakistan football? Where do you see it going from here? You've been here long enough now. I think you.
I mean, in the short time that I've been here, I can see that there is a lot of good within Pakistan. The great thing with beating Cambodia and reaching the qualifying stages or the pre-qualifying stage of the World Cup, if they can build a group or a team together and get through to the SAF Championships, and do that. But what happens is that I think Pakistan is too fragmented. The PFF need to unite Islamabad, Peshawar, Sialkot, Lahore, Karachi, and everywhere in between to make a unified kind of Pakistan football.
Yeah.
There seems to be a different idea of how football's played in Islamabad, and Islamabad doesn't talk to Peshawar, Peshawar doesn't talk to Gilgit, Gilgit doesn't talk to Lahore. There's no, you'd want it like the Pakistani Super League. That's how you'd want it, whereby you'd have the leagues there, you'd have Islamabad, you'd have all the great cities, other clubs as well, and they all play against each other home and away.
Yeah.
And probably have a draft system like the NBA, the Football Association in America, or transfer system, people sign, and that's what they've got to do, produce the leagues on that. So that's the future. There's got to be more cohesion, that it's all fragmented, and there seems to be this idea that futsal is the be-all and end-all. And people say, well, they can build futsal stadiums, but why can't they build a football stadium?
Yeah.
Build an AstroTurf full-size football pitch, AstroTurf it, put a thing round it, and then section it off so you can play futsal. But then you open it up so you can play full side. That's the idea. So instead of having one futsal pitch, have four, but then open it up into a football pitch.
Yeah.
And that should be the idea. Every school should have a football pitch.
Yeah.
Every club should have football pitch.
I think every school has a pitch, but it's not really a football pitch.
It's a multi-purpose. It's a ground. It's a place of greenery.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I'd like to see football like the cricket. You go on every street corner, you go on every wasteland, and there's 3 bricks piled up and kids chucking a ball.
Yeah.
Chucking a white ball or an orange ball or a tennis ball.
Yeah.
In England, that would be kids playing football or playing football in the streets. Yeah. So that's my vision, that obviously if we can get an infrastructure and organisation going and get the politics out of it, that I think that's a lot of it, that if somebody's doing well, instead of somebody saying, how can we do that and be part of it, people kind of try and knock it down because they want their product to be better. Where what Pakistan needs is products all to be better and to be working together, to have their own little things, like, as you say, Bulls have their demographic and the way they do things. Football Factory in Islamabad have got their way of doing things. CWK have got their way of things. Legends, we've got our way of doing things with our demographics, with our coaches. M2K 1-to-1, MTK, MK 1-to-1 have their own way of doing it. There's Model Town have their way of doing it. That's great. Don't knock anybody else's. Kind of push it all up. And hopefully that'll be done through coach education and everybody working together to. And there's, to be quite honest, it's a blank canvas. There is a place and room for everybody.
Yeah.
There's room for everybody to succeed.
Yeah. Thanks, Mark. It was a great conversation.
Thank you for having me again. Kudos, CAF. Always great here to watch football, and to be quite honest, it is the best food that I've had in Pakistan since I've been here. So thank you.
Thanks a lot, man. I really enjoyed the conversation, and I hope we can do more of this.